For decades, bodybuilding was built on one assumption: more is better, more sets, more workouts, more protein, more supplements. If you weren't doing more, you were falling behind. But one man looked at all of it and rejected it entirely. Mike Mentzer, Mr. Universe philosopher and the architect of heavy-duty training, believed that both training and nutrition are governed by a single unbreakable principle. He called it the law of need. And once you understand it, everything changes.
Not more is better, not less is better, but precise is best. Think about it. The body doesn't operate on the principle of more. It operates on the principle of need. A need is a specific requirement, not an approximation, not an excess. A precise, identifiable requirement. Take sunlight. Exposure to sunlight stimulates the development of a tan that's adaptation, but excessive exposure breaks the system down. You don't get a darker tan, you get a burn. Friction on the hands works the same way. Repeated stress or manual labor produces a protective callus. But if that stress continues beyond the tissue's adaptive capacity, the skin decompensates and forms a blister. Weight training is no different. Stress can stimulate muscular adaptation and growth, but excessive duration or frequency eventually pushes the organism beyond its system's end into exhaustion. Recovery deteriorates. Progress reverses. The mistaken premise in bodybuilding has always been that more is better. If 2 hours a day were good, why not 4? If 4 were good, why not 12? But training is a form of stress, and up to a certain point, exposing the body to stress can be beneficial. Beyond a definite point, it becomes detrimental. The workout doesn't produce growth. The workout is merely the stimulus to trigger. Growth occurs afterward during recovery through a sequence of repair, protein synthesis, remodeling, and eventual supercompensation. That process requires time to complete. Train again before that adaptive cycle has resolved, and you force the body back into recovery before compensation has occurred. Instead of progressing forward, you remain trapped in a continual state of repair. Once the threshold required to stimulate adaptation has been reached, additional work does not proportionately increase the growth stimulus. It merely increases recovery demands, drains adaptive reserves, and pushes the body closer to exhaustion rather than overcompensation. You should not train beyond need. If you do, you overtrain. You lose muscle. The same principle applies to nutrition. The body has specific needs for protein, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals. Beyond that, there is no proportional benefit, only an increasing compensatory burden. You don't want to consume nutrients beyond need. That's overfeeding. At least it leads to deposition of body fat. Muscle tissue is comprised mostly of water. That doesn't mean you should drink gallons of water every day to hasten muscle growth. Your body has specific needs each and every day for all the basic food nutrients. When you eat in excess of any one of those nutrients, you don't utilize more of that nutrient for growth. You don't force your tissues to use more by force feeding yourself. Daily muscle growth is tiny, so the nutritional demand required to support it is also tiny. Not thousands of extra calories, not force feeding, just a small, precise surplus. And here's what most people get backwards. Training is primary. Nutrition is secondary. It is only within the context of first having stimulated growth through proper training that nutrition then becomes a consideration. If you don't give your body a good reason to grow, if you don't enact the necessary causes required to set the growth process into motion, it doesn't matter what you eat or what you don't eat. It doesn't matter. Training is the first requirement. Nutrition is only a secondary factor. The most important exercise you can perform is the exercise of restraint. Restrain that tendency to always want to do more. Because biological adaptation operates within limits. Too little stimulus produces no adaptation. Too much stress produces exhaustion. Too little nutrition produces deficiency. But beyond sufficiency, Additional intake increasingly shifts from productive adaptation toward compensatory burden. Not more is better. Not less is better. Precise is best.
That's the law of need. Not a hack. Not a shortcut. A principle rooted in how the human body actually works. Mike Mentzer didn't just build a physique, he built a philosophy. One that asks you to think, to question, and to respect the biology you were born with. The question isn't what more can I do? The question is, what is precisely enough?